Every week, a new band. Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Live! Yeah.
Kia ora and welcome to Active Live. I am here with the most glamorous Deva Mahal and band. Welcome to Active Live.
Let me make sure my phone is silent. Hi, Kilda. Thank you for having me.
How's your guys' day been?
You know, it's a beautiful day down in Poneke. It's like...
Sun is shining.
I know, I feel like got all its wind out of its system yesterday.
It was bad, eh? Nearly got knocked off of our feet.
Oh, man, yeah.
We're so excited to have you in here. I think me especially as well. So thank you all for joining us here. The sound checks have sounded amazing and I can't wait for everybody to hear.
Thank you.
So
I'm excited.
we are here to talk also about the Future Classic Volume 1 EP as well.
Oh my God, I'm so gassed. It's so crazy. It feels good to hear you say it because it means it's actually real.
Yeah.
It's actually going to come out.
Yeah. All right, let's make it even more real. What's the day it's coming out?
January 27th.
Woo. All right.
Shut up.
Not even 2 months? Nah,
Yeah,
2
no,
months,
girl.
2 days.
Yeah.
And then we're there.
2 days and we're there.
I wanted to ask you about a quote that I saw on your Instagram.
Okay. Talk to me.
Imagination.
Tell me what I said to the world.
Imagination meets perseverance equals manifestation.
Oh, yeah.
How has that idea either helped shape your music career and also personal life?
Well, okay. So for one, for the imagination to thrive, you have to you have to position yourself and surround yourself by people and things that are inspiring. You have to kind of stimulate your ears and your eyes and your body. And then, in order to manifest that thing that you dreamt about, you then have to put the action to that, and you have to find your people. You have to find your crew to kind of work laterally to create that
To make it happen.
dream, to make that happen. So then you have to put in the work, so it becomes a practical element. So then you have to put on your boss bitch hat and be like, I'm going to get this, and this, and this, and done, and then run down your list, right? And then the next step, it's like once you've manifested that, you actually are going to then get to the place that you want to get to, and without the dreams, without the imagination, without the vision, you can't get to the manifestation. And I've definitely been in places where I've been in like a deficit of vision, of idea, of creativity, of something. And as a creatives, you're pulling that out of your core, you're pulling that out of your mind, you're pulling that out of your blood, you're pulling that out of your psyche, and you're also drawing from all the experiences that you have. So you have to go through the catalogs in your brain, in your computer, to be able to then put words and music in place to then get to the next step. So without those things in my mind, that's how I get from one to the point to the next, so that I can bring something to fruition.
Absolutely.
So,
I just thought it was a quote that was just super succinct. It is just you got to have the imagination and the perseverance. You've got to do it until you can actually get the good stuff.
Well, honestly, especially in times like this when it's if I had $1 for every time I was I'm going to quit this shit. I'm just going to be done. Nobody cares. It's over. I'm tired.
Yeah.
How many gigs can you get canceled before you really just can't afford to, know?
No, definitely.
So, and the perseverance, it represents itself in being able to segue and being able to style step, being able to wear different hats. But at the same time, you have to know where your goal is so that you don't disseminate into this person that you don't even recognize, you know?
No, definitely.
Yeah, that's why I like to have. That really came to me in a very succinct way, because it was pull the bullshit out and just A to B to C,
Get it done.
Yeah.
Well, that's something I really appreciate. So your lyrics with this new EP have been outlining lots of different emotions from what we've come to. But also some of your lyrics as well from past releases, they can outline pain, whether that pain is relating to racial violence pain or pain that people can find in love within themselves. How does transforming your pain musically kind of help you get through?
It's pretty much my deepest and truest form of therapy. I feel like it's the most trusted space for me.
Yeah.
I'm a seemingly outward and extroverted person, but I'm really, truly an extroverted introvert.
Yeah.
You know, so you may think that you see and hear and know me, but really there's so much under the surface that I don't share at all. There's like a plethora of pain and trauma and joy and happiness and sadness and heartbreak that I just don't, you know, that you'll never know from me.
And we
unless you
shouldn't as
listen-
well.
Yeah, but unless you listen to the music. And sometimes for me, like, I don't always reach out to people to kind of soothe that pain. I do a lot of self-soothing, which might not necessarily always be the best way.
No, but gets the job done though.
But I do a lot of that, and a lot of that turns into music, and I think that's why I sing a lot about how I've been feeling. I sing a lot about pain because I have a lot of it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So for me, that's like the thing that I feel in the crevices of my chest cavity when I'm writing songs like that. So yeah.
I really appreciate the. Obviously, everything is kind of like crafted as well, but there seems to be an earnesty and a truth that kind of comes through with not only your vocal performance but with your lyrics. And I think a lot of listeners can resonate with it because you are kind of putting some of it out there, you know, to be related to. And it's fantastic, and I really appreciate it. And I can't wait until the 27th.
Thank you. Yeah. I guess there's all different ways to create music, but for me and for the purpose that it serves for me and the way that I feel myself in music, I have to be really vulnerable, and I has to feel like every word that I utter has to feel like something that's real to me. And when I'm writing songs, it's actually kind of how I pay attention to the lyrics. Like, if I'm writing lyrics and it sounds kind of dramatic, but when you write lyrics that don't feel true to you, they kind of taste sour. They taste like acidic. And every time you utter them, they feel wholly untrue.
Yeah.
And it feels forced. So whenever I'm writing a song, if I'm not being vulnerable, even if it's meant to be like fun and joyous and whatever, it has to be like a real bit, like anchored in real feelings and experiences. Otherwise, I feel like a fraud.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think we all appreciate that because it all comes through. Should we get into our first track for the day?
Yeah, man. I'm excited. It's the first time I've ever played this live. So.
Oh, thank you so much for choosing to do it with us.
So thanks for having it. No one can save me now. Got my head in the clouds and I'm spinning out. I was bulletproof till you shot me down. Now you've run me through. Told me that you really loved my mama. That's when I should have known you were trouble. Swore I froze space and time. The moment I caught your eye, Lord knows I should have seen you coming. Yeah. Say no one can save me now. Got my head in the clouds, I'm spinning out. I was bulletproof till you shot me down. Now you've run me through, baby. Talk 'em big, yeah. Turns out you've been lying. Oh yeah, but I'm hooked on your love. run me through. Say you run me through. Say no one can save me now. Got my head in the clouds and I'm spinning down. I was bulletproof till you shot me down. Yeah. Now you run me through. You run me through. Yeah. Save me now. Yeah. Spinning now. Spinning now. Yeah. Come on. Shot me down. Now you run me through. You run me through. No one can save me now. Now my head in the clouds and I'm spinning round. I was bulletproof till you shot me down. Now you run me through. You run me through.
Woohoo!
Ooh.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. First time playing it. That was amazing.
Ooh, thank you.
If you're just tuning in now, we have Deva Mahal in studio, and you were just listening to Run Me Through, one of the singles from the upcoming EP, Future
Yeah.
Classic Volume 1.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about Run Me Through. First the track, and then the incredible music video, because I've watched it maybe 5 times now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really cool
Oh,
video.
man, that's awesome. That's really good to hear. I feel like the production team will be so stoked to hear that.
It felt like you're watching a small movie. All right,
Oh,
let's
good.
do music video first.
Okay,
So
okay.
you were creative director,
Well, I was co-creative director with Naomi Hausman. Yeah.
and there was also producer Julie Gusha and Julian Vaz.
Varys.
Varys,
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right.
on camera. How was that process from inception of the idea to actually filming it, the day?
Okay. So I've been holding on to that vision for a minute. And the actual end result was a little bit different from how I initially was inspired. Because I was living in New Orleans, and I don't know if many people know this, but there are a lot of black female cowboys, like cowgirls. Like the cowboy, the original cowboy, was a black person. Just
Yeah.
FYI, a little history. And while I was living in New Orleans, there's like all these crews. There's all these like black ranches, and there's these black like wranglers and
Oh, wow.
motorcycle crews and everything. And so I was like, wow, I really would love to have like a whole army
Of cowgirls.
of like cowgirl renegades that were out there like chopping down bandits.
Yeah.
I really wanted to have a machete in the video, but that was a little too much to take on the Air New Zealand. So, but so like the dream was like to be like wrangling up all these bandits,
Yeah.
and then like then I met Naomi while I was in Christchurch because I was playing at the town hall,
Oh, yeah.
and Chris Wethy, who is the co-writer and producer, as well as Michael Howell, but Chris introduced me to Naomi because I need a director,
Yeah.
and there's no way I'm going to be able to get on a plane to go back to New Orleans because it's not going to happen. So he introduced me to Nay, and then Nay knew Julie, who was the producer, and then we found Julian, who is like an incredible DP. His camera work is incredible.
Yeah.
And then Julie found this amazing place called Grassmere out in Arthur's Pass, and we had this really sick, badass horse wrangler named Heather. Oh my gosh, she was so cool. She was exactly what you would have imagined if you went up
yeah.
into the mountains, and she lived in this like tiny shack covered in furs, and she had every kind of tool, and she was just like the mightiest horse whisperer.
Oh,
And so
I
anyway.
love that. How was working with the horses as well?
Well, I actually rode it in a totally different way for this video. I've never used a standard saddle before. I've only ridden Western or English,
Oh, wow.
and I've also only used a bit. So I had to learn how to ride real quick with just a lead, because they just basically tie a knot underneath the nose of a horse, and then there's totally different directions, totally different technique.
Wow.
So I had to ride around in the corral for like 10 minits and make sure that I
Was
didn't kill myself.
Yeah, I know. Did your previous riding experience come in handy?
Oh
for
yeah,
this
yeah.
shoot?
I like people don't know this about me, but I grew up riding horses. I was like in the States they have this thing called 4-H. And it's really where all the horse girls go, like the nerdy horse girls go. And I actually went to camp, like riding camp.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, and it had been a while, but I really wanted to get back in the saddle, as they say. And yeah, it was amazing. It was so cool to ride her. And by the end of it, her name is Stella, by the way. And by the end of it, we were like tight as that was my home slice.
Yeah.
McSleazy. We were like,
hey, she's a star, you know.
I
Stella,
know.
She's a star. She was.
She was so pretty too. Oh my God!
Horse.
If you see the pictures, she was just the most beautiful horse, and she was rad. And we had these incredible capes that were made by Hills Hats.
I was wanting to start talking about the costuming.
Yes. Well, my friend Beth Thibault and I did a lot of the work, but this amazing stylist named Lulu Wilcox did all like the big garments and stuff like that. But Simon from Hills Hats made all the hats for that video.
Amazing.
And last minute, I was like, dude, can you make 3 capes that are identical, that are really long? And he was like, oh, no, I don't think I can do it. And then at the last minute, showed up at my house with a box full of all the hats and the capes.
The Hat Man is a legend.
The Hat Man is a legend.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, riding the horses had to make sure that they could handle seeing the capes flying behind us without, like, feeling like they were being attacked. So that was an interesting...
A whole thing.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
With your own part in the costuming of this, I highly encourage all of our listeners after this live session to watch this music video because it does feel like a mini film. The jewelry really got me. It felt very Schiaparelli, or very like Schiaparelli.
Really?
Yeah, just the
so
weight, how it hung, just it felt very, very high fashion kind of thing, avant-garde. So how did all of that come together?
Well, so I had met Lulu in Auckland, and I was like, I need a stylist for this video, and she was like, okay, cool, and she pulled a bunch of stuff but couldn't come to the video, so she pulled all these things and sent them to me in a suitcase, and then me and my friend Beth Thibault, we went through it all and then styled the video.
It's an absolutely incredible video.
It was awesome.
The bounty hunters, your 2 backup bounty hunter girls.
Billie Jean and Mele. I wanted women of color,
Yeah.
very specifically, and I wanted, like, women. I didn't want little girls. And so I had tasked the producer with finding some beautiful black and brown women.
Yeah.
And they found Billie Jean and Mele, which was amazing. And also a fun fact is that whole region was where Billie Jean's whānau is from, where her iwi is from. So it was really special. If you don't know Billie Jean, she and Asia and Chris just won the Maiaha Award at the Silver Scrolls for their song Te Ihu.
Yeah, congratulations to them with that.
Shout out.
Shout out to team effort.
Yeah. But and I also needed 2 wahine that knew how to ride horses.
Yeah.
So that was also part of the assignment.
Yeah.
And they were just so badass. They were ready for anything, and it was just like the best crew. We became real tight after that.
It's really incredible because I don't think they don't make eye contact with the camera up until they say, "Don't do it, girl. Don't do it, girl." And
that was Naomi's direction. It was cool.
It was beautiful. It was just incredible. So you heard the song live. Go see the video next.
Nice.
Should we get into another track from the EP?
Yeah, this next song I just released like a week ago. It's called "I Want You for All Time," and here it goes. Excuse me, there's something I wanna say to you. Check, can you hear me? Is the sound coming through? Play no games or manipulate. I wanna build something with you. Might be rough, but I'm always gonna be steady in the wind, ready, holding you down, 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 down. Say, I don't really care what they say about us. Might be foolish, but I'm putting my trust in you. You, so tell me, are you feeling the same way? The same way too. Picture falling for me, be your one and only. I want you to be mine, oh mine. Don't want you for a moment, I want you for all time. Ooh, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Baby, yeah. Hey, it's so nice to hear from you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You'll be here in 30. Well, I'll be waiting.
So good.
Oh my God, I feel so weird saying that.
Oh, that was I Want You for All Time. When that track got released and I heard the like little kind of phone call sample at the end, for me I breathed a sigh of relief because after Run Me Through I was gonna look to square up with the person who was like hurting your heart, you know? And now with that little phone call kind of sample, I know it's all chill, so it's fine.
Aww.
Aw.
You're so cute.
So
Thank you.
I Want You for All Time has got 10,000 streams now already.
Actually, it's got 16,000.
Oh my, 16,000 in
I got
about
picked
a
up
week.
by Soul Coffee on playlist.
Oh, beautiful.
It's a Spotify playlist, and it's dope. So I was like, yes. All of a sudden, I was like, yay, people are loving it. And it's been getting really good feedback from the community as well.
Have you noticed just through these recent numbers, new audiences kind of coming to either your social media pages? Yeah? How's that
definitely.
been?
It's cool. It's really interesting, you know, because I'm always grateful for people to show up and pay attention to independent artists in general, but to like show up and pull up for independent Black female artists,
exactly.
it's like so integral to us, our ability to be able to continue to do this, you know? I think that it's just like humbling when people show up and they share and they connect with anything I do. So whenever somebody new comes along, I'm just like, okay, cool. It's like really validating, and it helps me feel like what I'm doing is the right thing, you know? So it's been really good. It's been really lovely. And yeah, I'm just happy to be making music.
Absolutely. I was looking at the Spotify short video for I Want You.
Yeah.
Who designed the large floral, beautiful...
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, that leads me into the next question. There is definitely a very specific diva aesthetic. How have you... What's been that process kind of coming towards that style and like those iconic silhouettes that assist your music? It's like a whole full-scale performance.
I'm very visual. I'm very visually stimulated. So for me, I imagine like a whole world. If I had had the budget, I would have filled that whole room with all those flowers that me, and again, Beth Thibault helped me build that. She helped me construct it. And we sat and just handmade peonies and then stitched them to, anyway, it was a long process. But yeah, I don't know. I love visual art as well as like music, you know, and I think it's a beautiful opportunity to to be creative in every aspect, and I figure like why miss one? And so when I go in to do something, I want to be able to have touched every aspect of
Yeah.
it, you know, and then I pull forth like what I can add to make it feel like it's something that I made, you know, instead of something that somebody else has told me
Yeah.
that I need to do or told me to wear or told me what is trending or whatever. I never want to be in that space. I'm always gonna be dreaming up my own worlds and doing my fucking damnedest to make
Yeah.
sure that they come to
And creating them
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool.
It's cool. It's also my first video shooting with like a love interest.
How was that?
I was so nervous.
Oh.
I was so fucking nervous.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but I really was.
I
I was
bet.
like, oh no, I made this world and now I gotta like sleep in it.
Yeah.
But he was so nice. His name is Kuzwane, and he was just the nicest human being. And he was so open, and there was like a lot of like talking between us and just making sure that we were both comfortable to be that close to each other. And when you see the video, it's like it really does look like we're super in love with each other.
Chemistry off the charts from like the small shorts I've seen.
Oh man, yeah, it was funny. It was funny when they were shooting it too, because they were like filming it, and then they felt like they were like spying.
Yeah.
And a private, you know. So a couple times Naomi had to be like, I feel like I'm like,
I'm not going to look.
Yeah. So yeah, no, but it was really cool. He was just really professional and very respectful and very open, and so it made it really easy to do the acting part, which was fun.
Definitely. When is that video going to be released?
That comes out next Friday.
Woo! Very exciting.
I know, me too. Finally. Woo.
All right. You have your stunning band with you here today.
Yes.
How has your musical process been looking like recently? Has it been still very independent and individual, and you bring it to the rest of the group and the rest of the band, or is it becoming more of a kind of collaborative exercise now?
So I have been working for the past 8 months with Chris Wethy, and him and I have basically just been road dogging it in my bedroom, just making beats and songs and producing, and like that song "I Want You" was tracked in my clothing rack.
Oh, wow.
You know, so we just kind of like liked what we did with each other and just kept going. And then I got the project funding, project funding from NZDT, so we were like, oh, this is gonna actually really happen. So we did do all of these songs beforehand, and then I've been enlisting incredible musicians like Darren Mathiasen on the drums, my brother Armand Starr on the bass, Sam Nakamura on the guitar, and Chris Gibbsley on the keys. And for all of you who go back to the Hope Brothers days, when we started the live music there, these two were like the OGs, and Anand was on the mic.
Yeah.
And it was just, so this is like a really special setup actually. But yeah, so I kind of just take the music and I'm just trying to build the right band for the project.
Absolutely. Shall we do one more track before we recap and sign out?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's go.
Okay. This song's called On Red, and it's the first time anybody's heard it. Okay. Swore I shed my last tear. Said I was all cried out. And now here I am again, crying on the bathroom floor. How the hell did I get here? All them years since we've been over. Oh, and I've done my very best to mend the fractured chord of my heart, but it just won't heal, though I beg it to. It still has a need for you. Tell me, why did you ride? What the hell do you want from me? I know you're just trying to absolve yourself from feeling guilty. Why don't you keep your your shit to yourself. 'Cause I don't wanna know. Could I let you go? Oh, baby, I wash my hands of you. Oh, set it on fire, thought I had control. Cross this road, yeah, but it comes flooding back. I've done my very best to close this door to my heart, but it just won't heal. Though I beg it to, it still has a need for only you. Listen, tell me, honey, baby, why did you write? Say, what the hell do you want from me? I know you're just trying to absolve yourself, for I'm feeling guilty. Oh, why don't you keep your shit to yourself? 'Cause I don't wanna know. So why don't you keep your shit to yourself? 'Cause I don't wanna know, baby. Why don't you keep your shit to yourself? 'Cause I don't wanna know. Come on. Oh, why don't you keep your shit to yourself? 'Cause I don't wanna know. No, baby. Say, why don't you keep your shit to yourself? 'Cause I don't wanna know. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you.
That was on Red. First time anybody ever hearing it, maybe.
Yeah, outside of the tight little knit circle.
Thank you so much for sharing all of the
Thank
tracks
you.
you have done with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's been very special. Where can our listeners keep up to date with you and your music?
So they can head to devamahal.com, DEVAMAHAL.com, where you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I'm not much of a tweeter, so don't go there. But yeah, you can follow me there. I have a link tree on my Instagram. You can follow me on Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, all the streaming services. And I'm also on Bandcamp.
Awesome.
So if you want to really directly support artists, go there. But yeah, iTunes, Apple Music, all the regular spots. So make sure to get out there and support independent women in music, because we
Exactly.
need you.
We do.
So pull up.
Thank you so much. Active Live is made with the support of NZ On Air. It is now time for Friday Drive. Thank you, Deva. Thank you, the band.
It was my
It's
pleasure.
been beautiful.
Active Live. Friday, 3:30. Every week a new band. In studio. Brought to you by NZ On Air.